Good day, football family. My name is Kudzie. As promised on the first and last edition, today we are going to talk about the hottest topic in Zimbabwe right now, the AFCON, the Zimbabwe national soccer team, the Warriors. We are playing Egypt on the 21st of June, the first match of the tournament, 10 p.m. in Cairo. Okay, so today we are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about the Warriors. We are going to talk about Egypt, the group opponents. Right? As I said on the last edition, this blog is about performance analysis. It's about tactical scouting, opposition analysis. Of course, we'll be talking about news and all that stuff, but too much emphasis on performance analysis. We talked about the why part and the how part. That is the most important things that we'll be talking about. Okay, as you are all aware, we have a daunting task. As Egypt to contain. We all know who that is. What do we call them? The other guys, they call him the African Messi. This guy is none other than Salah, Mohamed Salah, the Liverpool marksman. He's a very good player, and he has shown that at club level versus in England, when he's playing for Liverpool, and also in Europe when he's playing in UEFA Champions League. He was very instrumental in Liverpool getting their 6th, I think, European title. So he is a very important guy, a very, very dangerous player. But today I will not talk about Salah. We know Salah and we know his threats. We know how dangerous he is. He's a player who plays right wing mostly, and sometimes he comes through the middle. But Salah, most of the times, is always on the right wing and trying to use space. He's a guy who utilizes space. Very little pockets, like I said last time, of space. That's the most important thing that we should guard against. He likes moving, utilizing the space and creating width. So Salah, we all know about how dangerous he is, and I'm sure everyone else, Hofu, the Warriors coach, as well as all other guys, they are very worried and they know the threat that is posed by Salah. But today I don't want to talk about Salah. We know Salah, but there are other guys who can hit us. That is one thing that I want to emphasize on. Egypt plays a 4-3-3 formation, which utilizes width. Width, guys. When you talk of width, it's a team that plays expansive football. A team that likes to stretch opponents. A team that builds its play from the back. It is a team which is not afraid to play. It plays the early way, plays the Man City way. It likes to have the ball always. So it is a very dangerous opponent. But here I've just listed one of the few things that we need to guard against is the Warriors. So I'll start by listing the people that I think will be also is equally dangerous as Salah. Because a lot of people, we just know Salah this, Salah that. But well, there are other people who can hit us. We can be able to utilize and neutralize Salah. But we will not see where the dagger will come from. So we need to be very, very careful about that. I think the most important player after Salah is none other than Mohamed Hassan. They call him Trezeguet. This guy plays in Turkey for a club called Kasim Pasa. He's an attacking midfielder, plays left wing. He is equally good. Salah from the right, Trezeguet from the left. He's technically good, very skillful, fast, and you can see from this just ended season, he ended with 10 goals, 9 in the league and 1 in the cup. That's a very good return for an attacking midfielder. So I think he's one guy we have to constantly be watching out. He's a good player. So I'm listing with Trezeguet. They call him Trezeguet, but he's called Mohamed Hassan. Then we have got Amri Wada. Amri Wada, this guy also plays attacking midfield. He plays for the Greek side PAOK, P-A-O-A-K. Good player. He played in the Europa League. Lots of experience, technically good. He takes on defenders, and he likes to use very small pockets of space. So he's another guy who I think can pose a lot of threat to the Zimbabwe national team. So we need to be watching out for that guy. We also have got this guy. I don't think he's very, very dangerous, but he's physically imposing. Very physically imposing. They call him Marwan Mohsen. Marwan Mohsen is their striker. He plays for Al Ahly in Egypt. And if you have watched Al Ahly play in the CAF Champions League, you can see what I'm talking about. He's physically imposing. He keeps the ball for the strikers to come, for the attacking midfielders to come. He also is very good aerially. So it's one thing that I think the Zimbabwe Warriors should be worried about: the aerial ability of Marwan Mohsen. One cross, boom, is in, and we are dead. Okay, then there is, I think everyone knows him, Ahmed Ghazi. He played for West Brom before it was relegated. He's still playing for West Brom in the Championship. Ghazi, we saw his aerial threat when he was playing in the English Premier League. He's very good in the air, very good. So I will be talking about the strengths of Egypt, which I think we should be able to utilize to neutralize the aerial ability that I'm talking about, and the guys which I think are very important in that regard are Marwan Mohsen and Ahmed Ghazi. So the Zimbabwe national team, the Warriors, should be able to guard against heavy fouls in dangerous areas. You know what I mean? Fouls in dangerous areas near the 18 area. Those fouls, you should try by all means to minimize them, because those free kicks, they can hit us. Those guys, they're bigger than us, physically imposing. So at the end of the day, they will kill us with one header. We are dead. So I think we also have to maintain that. Then another thing that I think we should guard against are the crosses. Like I said, Egypt like to play expansive football, utilizing width. And usually the right wing is the most important one to them. We've got Ahmed El Mohamed, the captain. He plays for Aston Villa in England, and we have seen the threat that he has since his days at How. I think in 2010 there he was playing for English Premier League, and he was playing right back position, and he's a very good guy. He likes bombarding forward, and he likes bringing in these crosses, and he's a very good crosser of the ball. So look, imagine a wing of Ahmed El Mohamed together with Salah in front of him. They will be using width a lot of times. So we have to guard against those crosses coming in, because those guys can cross the ball, and when they cross, we know what happens. So usually at the end of the day, we are going to see El Mohamed moving forward, providing width. Then Salah, you'll be now pushing inside in those channels, so that way whenever the ball is passed, usually they use the channels, they pass into the channels, and Salah, we have to run diagonally straight in the 18 area. It is very dangerous. We know what he does when he gets that ball, so we have to guard against such too much. Okay, then we're talking about I was talking about the space between the lines. When you talk about space between the lines, usually the pitch is divided into 3 phases. We have got the defensive phase, the midfield phase, and the attacking phase. So we're talking about the spaces between those lines, from the defensive to the midfield and the attacking lines. That's the way I'm saying, the spaces between the lines. We have to guard against. We have to try and be compact at the midfield, at the center midfield phase. Why? Because we know Eoneni, when he plays for Arsenal, when he does that, he gets the ball usually over the top into the channels. And when we do that, what happens? Salah is like a cheetah. He runs. Yes. And whenever that happens, we are giving him a half chance. So we should always try and be compact in the middle phase. Have a compact block, so that when those guys, the midfield players, they get the ball, they try and play it over the top. There is no space for that. We are closely guarded, and we have got air. And I think we don't have to play a high line defending, because if we use a high line, usually Salah, he gets one chance. You can try and keep and trap them offside, but the moment that he breaks that offside, it's a goal. It's simple. So what do we do? What should we do? What should Mof do? That's what this is what I think we should do. We should try and exploit their weaknesses. And what is their weakness? We talked about with they use with, which is a good thing to them, but we can try and utilize, we can try and exploit that with. How do we exploit with? Let's try and keep that compact block I'm talking about. Let's use a double D. From what I think, let's use a double defensive midfield versus Egypt. We know these guys are good. They are good. They are good. They are better than us. They are good than us in all aspects, player for player, I think. So what we have to do, we have to try and play according to our strengths. So I am not a fan of a double defensive midfield, but I think in this case we need to have a double defensive midfield. And the double defensive midfield, one will be trying to cover the left channel, the left back. The other one will be trying to cover the right channel. And by so doing, we are keeping it compact, so that when Salah moves in that channel that he wants to use, is for example, Nakamba is there to clean, to sweep the passes. You see, when they try to use the other channel, another player is there, maybe Danpiro or anyone else is there to clean those channels. We have closed them. We have kept it compact in midfield. There is no way to run. Then we have to, like I said, don't have to use the high line, because Egypt uses the high line. They like to keep it compact. They move as a unit, so we don't have to use that. We don't have to keep the high line, because if we do that, we will be giving Salah space in the West Trezeguet. That space to run, we don't have to give them that. Then I think we should give them, let them have the ball. Let them have the ball. Yes. They like playing football, they like passing it, let them pass it. They like playing from the back, let them play from the back. It's fine. We have no problem with that. Let them play. What do? Let them have the ball in less important areas. So by that I mean, try and make them play where you want them to play. This is what Mourinho always say. Let them play in less important areas. Press them when they approach the midfield phase, the attacking phase. When you see now that they are now starting to make meaningful passes, they are now starting to try and penetrate, that's when we will go and press. Press them, we disrupt their play, then we try and catch them on the break. We've got players who can do that. We have Kama Billiard, we have Knowledge Musona. Those guys, they are very dangerous when it comes to moving the ball on the break. So let's utilize them. Leave them there. Leave them there almost at the center. Let's press them. We get the ball. Once we get the ball over the top, since the team plays a high line, we've got enough chance and enough space to utilize. Just get the ball over the top through the channels, and Musona or Kama Billiard, they run and they get a goal. That's what I think we should do. And like I said, please let's avoid set pieces in dangerous areas. I have a feeling that if Egypt fail to get a go through open play, they will try by all means to get free kicks. And if that happens, they will try by all means to use their area of superiority. So I think we have to try by all means to use players that like clean defensive players. Let's try and get the ball away without fouling them, especially in our own half, because those free kicks will be dangerous. So for today, I think that's all. That's what I want to talk about. So we have talked about the width, we've talked about spaces between the lines, we've talked about the middle block in midfield, we have talked about high pressing, high line, we've talked about giving them the ball where it's less dangerous. Let them have the ball, because if you want to play the pound for pound, we cannot do that. We cannot have the ball more than them. They like playing, let them play it, but we press only when it's necessary, because you should remember there are different types of pressing. We have to use that pressing, the fake pressing, where we will be pressing them only when it's necessary. When it's not, we reserve our energy, then we try and hit them on the counter. Because Egypt will be playing in front of their supporters, 80,000 supporters. In the ground is sold out. Was sold out last month, so it will be full house. It will be the first match of the tournament. It will be excitement all over. So we have to keep calm and to have mental strength. Another thing that is very, very important is game phase management. We need to have a very good game phase management, especially in the first 5 minutes and the first 5 minutes of the game, the last 5 minutes before first half, the first 5 minutes after halftime, and the last 5 minutes, the last 10 minutes of the game. That's where usually a lot of teams concede. One, you won't be like the first 5 minutes, you are not even yet comfortable. That's when they hit you. And it takes a lot of a knock on your confidence. It takes a knock. Look, imagine conceding a goal in Cairo International Stadium where there is 80,000 people and in front of their home supporters, and you have just conceded a goal. It will be very difficult to come back. So we need to keep them. We need to try and press with them back. We need to try and make sure that we go after them. If we cannot score, let them not score. It's better to have a goalless draw. It's better that way. Because if we allow them to if we sleep on duty, I always say that we'll get punished. So game phase management is very important. You need to have intelligence, and you should have concentration, maximum concentration throughout the game. By so doing, we'll be warm and dry. That's what I think we should do. This is Zimbabwe versus Egypt. So I say, go Warriors, go. Baya. We are going to get a result. If we get against what I've said, we will get something. But if we fail to do that, like I said, we will not know where the beggar came from. So, until we meet again, we'll be talking about Uganda, another team that is in our group, and as well as DRC. What can be done to minimize their threats? Who is their best player? Who is their weakest link? And what should be done to try and get a result? Okay, so for today, I think we've done what should be done versus Egypt. So go Warriors, go. Until we meet again, always trust the process.